Okay, so Mr. Opal, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jason Frank Opal, file number 23-21508H. I have Rhonda Underwood appearing on behalf of Mr. Opal. This is a date and time set for sentencing. Ms. Underwood, I show that our office emailed to you a copy of the pre-sentence report on December 18 of 23. Were you able to meet with your client?
I was able to meet with my client and review it, Your Honor.
Excellent. So, Mr. Opal, have you had a chance to review the pre-sentence report and the recommendation?
Yeah, we reviewed it yesterday.
Okay, so Mr. Opal, for whatever reason, that room has the worst audio ever. So it helps me, and it's not your fault at all, if you scoot up a little bit and just speak a little bit louder. So are you satisfied with Ms. Underwood and the advice that she's given you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, good. Ms. Underwood, do you wish to explain or challenge the accuracy or relevancy of any information in the pre-sentence report?
We do not, Your Honor.
Good. Ms. Underwood, does the pre-sentence report disclose any prior convictions in which there exists any known constitutional defect?
It does not, Your Honor.
The probation department, and this was on Mr. Jones' file, has calculated the minimum sentencing guidelines to be 10 to 23 months. Do you agree with that calculation of guidelines?
We would agree with that calculation, Your Honor.
All right. Before the court passes sentence, is there anything you'd like to say on behalf of Mr. Opal?
Very much so, Your Honor. Your Honor, this is a case of failure to comply with registration, second offense. Mr. Opal was unfortunate enough to have two of these in very short order, Your Honor. I think Mr. Opal would be the first to acknowledge that his life and his home circumstances were very unstable at that point, and that led to this and him being overwhelmed. I don't think he was out there committing other crimes. That's not reflected in anything. Mr. Opal is also facing a violation for the first offense, Your Honor. Mr. Opal received as charged, no subs plea bargain, if you can call it that, to the 7 year, Your Honor. With that, the guidelines in this matter are 10 to the low end is 10 months. Mr. Opal, I believe through the MDOC, is going to have to be imprisoned at least for a short time on the parole violation. Is that correct, Mr. Opal?
Well, I have to go to prison to see the parole board because of the nature of the charge. It's up to them whether they want to keep me. I can receive jail time, and they can kick me back to receive my jail time. That's what they did last time, and that's what I was hoping for this time. You know, I did get complacent. Like I said, my life's been overwhelmed. I'm 48 years old. You know, I messed up. I turned myself in last time, and I'm just asking for another chance. I was with the same girl for 23 years, and it's just, you know, overwhelmed. I'm trying to put my life together and all that. And you know, I did not comply with my address. You know, I violated for using drugs, and then the compliance was I was supposed to report and go out. I got arrested.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was supposed to comply in July. Officially, other than my parole violation, but I got arrested on the 8th of August, so it was like a 2 weeks non-compliance, but it was more than that because I was supposed to comply because of parole. But I gave up, and you know, I should have just went down there and said, here I am, I messed up, I relapsed, and here I am. But I always get the case of all or nothing, and here I sit kicking myself in the ass once again. You know, and I'm asking for jail time if possible, and then I'll let the full board decide what they want to do with me. That would be awesome. And if you give me prison time, then I'm ultimately gonna have to stay in prison, and there's a chance that I could get out. And if given jail time, you know, I sat here and reflected, and I watched everybody coming in and out of here for numerous things. And I'm like, wow, you know, I wish I was them. But like I said, I'm 48 years old. Here I said, my hands are at your fate, so my life's at your fate. So, I got a little question. Yeah.
Your Honor, I would say, as far as the time Mr. Opal has spent in jail, the recommendation is that not be counted and that it
Yeah. Also,
not count. I would strenuously ask the court to consider, Mr. Opal has spent months in jail on this charge, Your Honor.
also,
And,
yes,
you know, we were obviously trying to get Mr. Opal the best outcome we could. And unfortunately, this is where we ended up, but it took a while. So we are asking the court to consider Mr. Opal's time in jail when making the sentence, Your Honor.
All right. What did you, Mr. Opal, scoop forward and say it again? What were you gonna interject?
yes, I was, under the understanding that this time was counting, and there was multiple. I had 6 pre-trials on this, because of the delays, and you know. But all I want to say is, Angelona's, if given this chance, I've learned that I have to put my life back together slowly. I get out and I try to get everything at once, and I try to help everybody else, and helping everybody else is only short term. I've learned that because, you know, my wife, I was with her for 23 years. I have a kid with her, 27 and 17. She still loves me, but you know, I got to realize she still helps me other than when I mess up. I got to realize that I got to let that go and let her live her life. And I can't help none of my kids until I help myself. And which, if given this chance, my actions will reflect that. You know, it's not like I was. If I would have just went down there and complied for my parole violation, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. You know, and it's just my life has been roadblock after roadblock, and a lot of it is because of the choices I made, like this choice here of not going down to for my parole violation. I wouldn't be sitting here right now if I didn't do that. But you know, when my mind is altered with other things, the choices I made. But other than that, that's all I have to say. And I was, you know, led to believe that this time was counting towards that. That's why there was multiple delays and trying to, you know, come up with a scenario on what y'all should do.
Okay. All right. You're here for Mr. Jones, right?
Yeah, he said if there's any issues, we need to get Phoebe here to get her if we need her. Because she was requesting the prison.
Right. Right. And the term is for 12 months.
Well, we would ask the court to consider something less than that, Your Honor, namely at least the low end of the guidelines. I mean,
Which is 10 months, which would still be, right, which is 10 months. That'd still be a prison term. So
I've sat here since.
unfortunately, yes, Your Honor. But we would ask.
So I can't do 10 to,
I don't know, he just said if there's issues, we need to get Phoebe, we should.
she's not here.
Um,
So, but yeah, I can do 10 to 35. I can do the 10 months to 7 years. Miss Holly, correct?
I believe you can.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
Just we would ask the court to consider
I can't.
credit, Your Honor.
I understand, and I understand his request for credit, Mr. Opal. More than likely what'll happen is your flap will be your credit. And then, you know, but I can't give him credit.
Well, can you reflect that in the paperwork for saying, well, that'd be awesome. Because I was leading to believe, we had 6 pre-trials on this matter. It just was the way, however it worked. And, you know, I would never did that. I would have said, here I am, let's go, you know what I mean? But yeah, it is what it is, so.
Okay. In determining the appropriate sentence in this case, the court has considered the seriousness of the offense, your history, the principle of proportionality, the statutory penalty, the cost of confinement, sentencing guidelines, the report and recommendation of the probation department, as well as what has been said upon the record at this hearing. The criterion reasons for the sentence are the nature and gravity of the offenses, the discipline appropriate to its commission, deterrence against repetition by you and by others, the potential for reformation, vindication for law, and the protection of society. To sentence the court, you will serve 10 months to 7 years with the Michigan Department of Corrections. Because you're on parole, I can't give you credit, but I will knock off the 60 days so that you get kind of credit. You understand that? There's $130 crime victim rights fee, $68 in state costs that must be paid. And you are to remain active on the Michigan Sex Offender Registry. And it does run consecutive to your parole violation. But as I said, I can't give you credit for time served, but by reducing your sentence, I am giving you some credit. So you do have the right to appeal the sentence. My bailiff's not. We're going to send over to the prison 3 copies of your notice of right to appellate review. Sign 1 copy for our records, and they'll send that back to us to acknowledge receiving it. The other copies are for you. If you wish to appeal your sentence, you would fill out the information on the form and mail it or send it over by kite within 42 days. All right? All right. Thank you. Good luck to you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, Judge.
You're all set. Thank you, ma'am. All right, so let me get Mr. Roberts connected. If you guys want to go in the jury room, I'll be right there. Good morning, Mr. Roberts. So you need to contact your attorney. I have a trial next week that's going to be pleading out, so I've got a little bit of a delay this morning because of that. And so just call your attorney. We're probably going to be starting around 10:30-ish.
Okay.
So just call your attorney, okay?
Okay, sounds good. Do you want me to leave then at this point, Your
Yeah.
Honor?
Yeah,
Okay.
you can leave and call your attorney, and then we'll bring you back. She'll get you back.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.